Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Great Day Houston. All right, so here it comes again, the start of school. While it certainly exposes kids to so many things they need to learn academically and socially, anywhere children gather can also mean exposure to some dangers. Illegal drugs on campus were never a good idea, but it's a different game of roulette today. Many traffickers use minors to recruit classmates at school and through social media. Meanwhile, last year was the first year that Texas banned cell phone use on school property during school hours. Joining us with some things to know are two women who have seen the negative impact when awareness and intervention are missing. Rania Mankarious is the CEO of Crime Stoppers Houston. She's also a lawyer and also a master's in marriage and family therapy. And she's the author of The Online World, What You Think You Know and What You Don't. Kerry McCracken was a prosecutor in the Harris County District Attorney's Office, a criminal defense attorney, and now the director of the Children's Assessment Center. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
All right, let's get ready, right? Summer has its own set of issues, but
yes,
when school starts and you start putting people together, as I mentioned, other things can occur. For people who are not familiar, explain to them what Crime Stoppers is. And we oftentimes know about the tip line, but it's so much, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more that you all do.
So much more. That tip line is wonderful, and it does so much to solve cases, especially school cases. Let's not forget, kids can use our tip line to report incidences they know are going to take place on campus, and they've done incredible things to keep their schools safe. But we do so much more. We are in the schools with prevention, education. Everything we do is free.
You have the Safe School Institute?
The Safe School Institute, the Safe Community Institute, the Glenda Gordy Research Center, podcasts, and we're in this campaign to reach 10 million children for safety, and we've done that through launching the SafeSpaceForStudents.com because we want to make sure kids are safe wherever they are.
Yeah. All right, the Children's Assessment Center.
The Children's Assessment Center is Harris County's only advocacy center for the treatment and healing of sexually abused children and their families. So it's a center where families can come and get all the services they need under one roof, and all those services are free.
Yeah, you say treatment and healing.
Yes.
Because we know if the treatment's not there and the healing's not there, it can be a domino effect. It doesn't happen with every person who's been a victim of abuse, but kids will also oftentimes be self-destructive. Anger comes out sideways. You've seen it come through the courts, and then of course the problem there is it also makes a child much more vulnerable.
Absolutely.
All right, when we talk about trafficking, they look for that vulnerable person, which leads to our first question here. This person says, when our daughter went to college, she fell apart and had to come back home. She had always been a good student. She didn't tell us until recently that she was date raped in high school. She won't say who because she's afraid and embarrassed. I at least think she needs therapy. She says that won't change what happened. How do I convince her to get this out instead of holding it in? I want her to return to college and press the restart button on her life.
Oh, that is heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking,
but probably often too, right? Because in terms of the cases that are reported, they didn't find out till years later.
I mean, and the disclosure does not happen until years later, but it's such a critical part of that healing journey. What happened to you? You are a victim of circumstance, a horrific victim, and you carry that trauma, but you should not carry the shame or the guilt. And I think going through therapy, discussing what happened to you is the gateway to healing, and restoring your power, because if you don't do that, I think you live your life under the umbrella of carrying that burden. As you can see in this case, it's prevented this girl from moving forward. Yeah. So it's absolutely critical that therapy takes place.
Yeah, and then running away from it and acting like it didn't exist. Well, you run away, and the thing that happened will catch you and meet you at the finish line.
Absolutely.
Obviously, with the CAC, the great thing is that around the time that it had happened, it's all kind of in motion to start treatment right away. But in a case like this, when it's delayed, what does that mother say to her daughter?
Well, so many cases are delayed, outcry, a large majority. But in this case, it sounds like this young lady may have there's myths and stigmas around mental health treatment. So I think a good starting point might be sitting down and talking to her about what mental health treatment really is, what it means, what she's going to be asked to do and not do. Let her know that it's confidential. Just really sort of start, she's adult now, right? Yeah. She's already in college. So talk to her, adult to adult, and let her know that it's nothing shameful about seeking mental health treatment. And so that may be one of her barriers, is that she doesn't really understand what it is and what it means, and that it is okay.
And I think one of the things is where kind of a glitch can come is this date rape.
I know.
Who's going to believe you?
Yeah.
Have you been with this person before? and then therefore people dismiss when somebody forces himself on. Well, you were dating anyway, right? So that kind of has a different connotation to it.
Which is why it's so interesting, because we get asked all the time, you know, why is Crime Stoppers talking to kids about teen dating violence? Because we have to.
Yeah.
Kids are getting into relationships much younger. They don't understand what a healthy relationship looks like, and people have to understand that they have full control over their bodies. No means no always. It doesn't matter what the relationship looks like before, during, or after. And kids have to be able to have ownership of their voice as well, and those are some of the things we talk about.
And Kerry, we talk about, you know, trafficking is just such a big concern now. It's been out there for a long time, but more and more people are aware of it. Sometimes there's that planned date rape that opens the door to somebody being somewhat compliant with the trafficking.
Yes. So, you know, traffickers groom their victims, so they start by gaining your trust.
Yeah.
And you talk about this planned, so they've got a plan all along. They can not only groom the child, but groom the parents, like make the parents trust them so that they're actually allowing their child to go with this adult. Right? So it goes back to just talking to your children about the warning signs and what they should look out for. If an adult is giving you inappropriate gifts, that's a sign that they could be grooming you. Teachers shouldn't be texting your kids, right?
You have the school emails and you email
Correct.
the parent, right?
Correct. So many times it is that adult that's either pretending to be somebody different through an app, or like I said, about 90% of child abuse is someone that person knows. Yeah. And so if it's not already the neighbor, uncle, cousin, you know, and I say uncle, it can be a male or female perpetrator, so I don't want to forget that. But it could also be, like I said, someone that is unknown at the beginning, like someone they met on an app, but after months, sometimes days, weeks, months, that is a known person, right?
Yeah. All right. You mentioned how kids are getting into relationships earlier, and then they have that thing in their hand.
I know.
That whole sexting thing.
I know.
I was talking to a group of teenagers the other day, and I said, how many of you, and they all kind of like raised, I went, really?
Yeah.
And they go, yeah, we've all done it. Now the problem is you've done something and you put those pictures in the hands of kids who don't necessarily act rationally, but like you're in the relationship, when things are good, they're good.
Yeah.
When they're not, they're not, right?
This is such an important topic. So if you go into a room and ask minors, how many of you have been asked to take an inappropriate photo, you are going to get 90% or higher that will say I've been asked. Now, did they do it or not? That's another issue. It is such an important message, Deborah. We tell kids all the time, please never take an inappropriate photo and send it to anyone, even if you think you're getting married tomorrow. Don't do it. The laws in Texas are clear. If you're under 18, you are not allowed to do it. So whether you wanted to or not, doesn't matter. But here's the other thing. AI is now a factor. So if you find yourself the victim of a photo, maybe you took it willingly, maybe you took it because you were coerced to do it, maybe you didn't take it at all, and AI has come in and taken your face and likeness.
They'll take things off of people's Facebook pages,
Absolutely.
the whole bit.
What happens now if that photo is used against you? We are seeing kids, they don't know what to do, and they're taking their own lives as a means of escaping an impossible situation. We will step in and help you. We never want a child to feel like
kids have been
I
threatened.
have no choice.
They've been threatened, and they've been told, if you don't do it, send money. And we see this happen. Don't send money, then we're going to share this with your entire school.
We want those kids specifically to come to us, and we will help you. There is technology out there. Take it down. NCMEC is incredible. There's so much out there that can help you and restore your image and get you through this process. It's always illegal, and the law will intervene.
Yeah. All right. Quick, one more question. I know we're about to hit a break, but my son is now 18 and his girlfriend is now 17. At some point when they were dating, they shared nude pictures. Now he's dating someone else. She's claiming that he's been showing her nudes to friends and wants to have him arrested as an adult. The pictures were mutually sent between them when he was a minor. How do we handle her word against his? He's heading for college this fall and is worried she will derail that out of anger and jealousy. Kevin, right to the point we said
Texas law is very clear. At age 17, you have the right to consent to a sexual relationship, but at age 17, you do not have the right to participate in any sexually explicit or suggestive photo.
Yeah.
So it's different. And if he
and she's saying that he's sharing them, but he's saying, no, I'm not sharing them.
He's not even allowed to have possession of them, and she wasn't allowed to take them and send them. However, the law will vary based on the facts of the relationship.
That's what, if they has to go forward, that's what courts are about, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well,